Hey guys, I'm Meteorologist Chris Tomer. Let's talk some mountain weather. And what we're going to do here is we're going to look at the snow potential before and through Thanksgiving and then what it looks like after. Because what we've seen is just kind of a series of minor storms for the lower 48 Rockies, with most of the precip hitting the Pacific Northwest, British Columbia, Western Alberta. So let's see what's on the horizon. Let's see when the pattern could change and we can get some really, if we can get some colder air with better snow. And I talked about this on my blog this morning. Watching it like a hawk, and I talked about the pattern after December 2nd. I don't think we're really going to see much difference in the lower 48 until after December 2nd, after the 3rd, after the 4th, somewhere right in there, because up until that point, it's just these little minor storms that come through. And I gave some examples of what the snow forecast, and I'll show you a closer view of these coming up, but that's on the blog if you want to take a look at that. Let's start here with the future version of where the radar, of what the radar and satellite would show as far as precip goes, well, radar would show. So let's move into Wednesday morning. So tomorrow morning, there's a southern low that's coming up into southern Colorado, and that will also affect northern New Mexico. And there's a cold front coming and dropping down from the Pacific Northwest into Montana. It's snowing up in Schweitzer right now, and it'll drop down into Wyoming and northern Utah, but it is extremely minor. Both of them will cross Colorado. Let's move into Thursday morning, and they're gone. So they're both fast moving. They're both pretty moisture starved. They'll drop light amounts of snow as it looks, maybe a moderate amount in a couple of cases. I'll have those numbers coming up. But by Thursday morning, it's back to the Pacific Northwest. That's where the storm track is going to remain most active. You can see the blue up there. Moving into Friday morning, right here, it's still mostly up in the Pacific Northwest. It's very dry across the lower 48, the Rockies there through Wyoming, through Utah, New Mexico, and Colorado, and into Saturday morning right here. Boy, there's just nothing going on. All the action still up in the Pacific Northwest, and that is November 27th at that point. So let's take a look at some of the numbers here. Now, the first is my snow forecast between now and Thanksgiving at 5 p.m., so Thanksgiving evening. You can see mainly light amounts of snow through Jackson down to the northern Wasatch into Colorado, the central and northern mountains of Colorado, 1 to 3 inches. In most of those areas, maybe a 4-inch amount. In southern Colorado with that cutoff low, maybe a 3 or 4 or 5-inch amount over the high San Juans, down into Taos and Angel Fire. Otherwise, you see where the biggest numbers are. It's Pacific Northwest. It's into British Columbia. So this is my snow forecast between Thursday at 5 p.m. and the 1st of December. So quite a stretch of time right there. So again, from the 25th of November through the 1st of December, you can see all the action is basically, once again, up in the Pacific Northwest to interior BC, western Alberta, which is light amounts between that period in Wyoming, Idaho, and western Montana. Now, after this time, after the 1st, more towards the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th of December, we may see a lot of that slide down to the south and become more entrenched across the lower 48. But between now and then, it's just a waiting game, I'm afraid. All right, so there you go. Take care. Always appreciate you tuning in here. We'll do another update tomorrow.